Friday, October 23rd. Here we go. Let's talk some NFC East, the best division in football. Does anybody actually want to win this? Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, and that Washington football team. Charles, anybody want to win the East?
No, but someone's going to win. And I think after last night, we can say for sure that Daniel Jones does not want to win the division. That's a little bit harsh. Because I actually thought he played pretty well last night, outside of the trip.
One little trip.
But, you know, it's a really, really awful division. And I think it says a lot that the Cowboys can lose their quarterback to a catastrophic knee, or not knee injury, but leg injury, and still have a pretty good chance to win the division. I think it's going to come down to the Eagles just because they probably have the best quarterback play, like when things kind of settle down for Carson Wentz throughout the season. But I honestly can't remember I've seen the division get off this bad a start ever, really, and like all four teams look really bad.
Yeah, I mean, this is the worst division that I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I also agree with Charles. It's like, I kind of still believe in Carson Wentz, like a little bit, just because we have seen that play before. I mean, it hasn't happened this year. And even last night, you know, they had this nice comeback, but he was still like okay throughout the game. And his play kind of led them to having to come back in the game late. So it's not like you can't just like look at the two drives at the end and be like, wow, what a great quarterback. So, but with that said, like, is he still the best quarterback in the NFC East? Probably. You know, maybe we get a great Andy Dalton season like he has had like once or twice in his career, but I wouldn't bet on that. And the Cowboys defense sucks, so I guess it's the Eagles. Like by default, it's the Eagles at like 6-10. You know what I mean? Like 7-9, something like that. It's just embarrassing.
We'll just wait until Andy Dalton gets to play a game at 1 p.m. It'll be completely different than that Monday night game. I mean, I think ultimately the Cowboys have to play better and the Eagles have to play better. You know, the Eagles will get healthier. I think Dalton will play better with those playmakers, and the defense can't be that bad the entire season. It's just brutal right now. But I think we expected this from the Giants and the Washington football team to kind of be, you know, third and fourth in the division. So I expect the Cowboys and Eagles to improve as the second half goes on. And Carson Wentz was just in a slump. He was in a bad slump early on. He has turned it around in recent weeks, though there are still some head scratchers. I like the Cowboys and the Eagles to eventually figure it out. I'll say the Cowboys. Dalton's going to play a lot better, I think, in the coming weeks. Let's go to Ohio. We've got Cincinnati. Yes, that's right, Seth. We're doing it. Cincinnati and Cleveland. They're playing today, or this weekend. The Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield. A pivotal year 3 for Baker Mayfield that's not going so well. Joe Burrow has been encouraging as a rookie despite terrible offensive line play. Charles, is Joe Burrow the best quarterback in Ohio?
Yeah, I think he is. And to me, like the Baker and Burrow discussion kind of starts in the same place. Like when you look back at them in college, both of them had to play with, elite supporting cast, great offensive systems where they're putting up a bunch of numbers. And, you know, I think people kind of both had questions about, you know, like what's the ceiling on this when it gets to the NFL. But like there's one spot, I think, where Burrow probably has like a clear advantage over Baker, and that's kind of like how you deal with pressure and how you deal with defensive line in your face when the play breaks down. And, you know, that's something that we saw at LSU where it wasn't too often where Joe Burrow was facing these situations where guys were getting free runners in the pocket and he had to run away from defensive linemen, but he showed that he could do that. And that's something that Baker didn't really have the skill with at Oklahoma. And I think like this year and last year, it's really shown like that play versus pressure was really biting him in the butt, and the accuracy versus pressure, his reactions to it. So like when you look at, I got these older-ish quarterback prospects with maybe, you know, limited arm, like pure arm strength, because I think you can debate like what arm talent means, but like it's pure arm strength, maybe limit on both sides. But if I got to pick one, I'll take the guy who can play under pressure. And Burrow's getting a lot of experience with that this year with that Bengals offensive line.
I just think as I scroll up to reveal my LSU sweatshirt that I'm wearing, the thing with Baker is, you know, the play under pressure. It's not even. It's funny that it's like, yes, it's the play under pressure, but it's also the play from the pocket when he's not pressured, when he thinks he's under pressure, and he does these ludicrous things like you know, bailing out of clean pockets and stuff like that. And he's totally regressed to a degree that I don't think anyone was expecting after 2018 when he just played it unconsciously, like out of his mind. And the thing with Burrow, so yeah, I think Burrow is probably the better quarterback right now. Even a first-year guy versus a third-year guy. With that said, Burrow has to start. I mean, he did it last week. I saw a nice throw to T. Higgins down the field, but let's get some deep balls to, let's start hitting these deep balls, because or else you can be the smartest guy, you can be the most accurate guy, but you gotta have something down the field that you can hit. Like Drew Brees, yes, he's super accurate in the intermediate areas, super accurate underneath, but he's like actually grades super high on the few deep balls that he does throw. So Burrow has to add that to his arsenal, and we're talking about a 39-year-old or 40-year-old quarterback versus like a 20, how old is he, 29, 28, Burrow? Oh, he's 24? Okay, so like a 24-year-old quarterback. So like you have to have that in your arsenal now. I think it's coming, but it's slightly concerning at this point for me.
Well, yeah, Burrow's been good at the stuff that will stay consistent, though. He's got the highest PFF grade at that intermediate range. That's the money range at the NFL, 10 to 19 yards. The fact that he has the highest grade right now as a rookie, and with those offensive line issues, that's impressive. The deep ball stuff, that'll happen, just like Josh Allen was a disaster on the deep ball last year. That tends to fluctuate just a little bit. My concerns with Baker are the same. It's under pressure and when there's no pressure, and inviting pressure. Like, why can't he just...
So everything.
Yeah. He's not
but
good.
it's regressed everywhere. Why can't he just run a quick game concept? Hey, too high, let's work this side of the field. He's working the wrong side of the field with simple stuff. Now, let's not forget, as a rookie, he played up at this Joe Burrow or better type of level. So it's the regression that I'm concerned about. Burrow's better right now. I'm still not ready to completely give up on Baker because he's shown it before. And I think in a macro view, we've seen elite play at Oklahoma, an excellent rookie season, a year plus of less than stellar play. There's still a chance he can figure it out, but right now, Joe Burrow is the best player in Ohio as far as quarterbacks go. The biggest game of this weekend, especially in the AFC, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans, undefeated versus undefeated. How about a prediction, Charles? What's going to happen in this game?
I've been stuck on this for a little bit because you want to look at it and see, because I'm fascinated by the battle between Tennessee offense and Pittsburgh defense. Obviously, I think that's
yes.
the main selling point with this game. And I just kind of want to, it's weird because in a normal year, you would never say Ben Roethlisberger versus Ryan Tannehill in a shootout, or not a shootout, but a game you're going to roll with Ben Roethlisberger. But I just love the way that this Tennessee offense is designed. And I think that they have enough counter punches in their arsenal where, if Pittsburgh starts getting blitz crazy or that front seven really takes over the game, which they can against literally any team in the league, I just want to see what counter punches that Arthur Smith and Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry have. And I think that offense is creative enough to kind of get around what Pittsburgh has. So I think I'm going to take Tennessee in a close, maybe mid-20s scoring game.
Yeah, I like Tennessee also, and also the offense has been super fun, super cohesive type of offense that they run down there with Arthur Smith. And what I'm thinking is they could get, I mean, this might be difficult, but they can get Pittsburgh out of what they want to do and stop them from blitzing, because do you really want to blitz a team that has Derrick Henry and then create one-on-ones when they run the ball in the outside zone, create one-on-ones, and then Derrick Henry breaks a tackle and he's gone? Do you want to play a little safer, especially on first down where the Pittsburgh is super blitz happy? So I wonder if that'll take them out of their game plan a bit. And then Tannehill's good enough right now that if he's clean and everything, he'll look great. He's been one of our top quarterbacks this year. So I'm interested in how that interaction plays out between, the first, especially on first downs, between the outside zone and Pittsburgh's blitz happy defense.
It is really an awesome matchup, especially when Tennessee does have the ball. Ultimately, I think Pittsburgh's a better all-around team. I think their defense is cleaner. And Big Ben has played an Alex Smithian type of game this year. He's been very safe, hasn't turned it over. But I still think he's capable of getting the ball down the field, especially with Chase Claypool emerging. But what I want to see, Mike Vrabel's getting all these Belichick comparisons now, right? He's got this game management stuff. If Bill Belichick went up against the Steelers defense, he would say, you know what? I'm not even going to try to run the ball. I don't care if I have Derrick Henry. I'm going to spread. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to throw it 40, 45 times. I want to see if that's the game plan for Tennessee. Do they put the ball completely in Tannehill's hands, negate the pass rush with the quick passing game, and say, Tannehill, this is your game? Because on paper, Steelers have the number one run defense by PFF, number one pass rush. You can mitigate that with the quick passing game and making this a Ryan Tannehill game. I want to see if Vrabel trusts him enough. Ultimately, I think the Steelers have the better all-around team, But I want to see that cat and mouse game. What does Tennessee do on offense against this incredible defensive front of the Steelers?
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.